everyone, hope you're well. So today, Christmas jumper, Christmas hats are on. Got my favourite guitar out. I'm going to teach you my favourite Christmas song. So recently I've been teaching a lot of Christmas songs, best time of year for it obviously with my students. And I thought today I'd turn the camera on and share this one with you on YouTube. So today I'm going to be teaching you Bobby Helms' Jingle Bell Rock, almost forgot the name of the song there. And it's a great track. So it originally came out in '57. It's an old school song. We've got some nice clean guitar playing, a couple of tricky chords. And this is going to be my arrangement of the song. So there's a couple of nice guitar licks. You've just heard the first one there. A couple of nice chords throughout the verse and the chorus of the song. I'm just going to put my spin on it and hopefully you enjoy it. So today I'm going to be showing all the parts. Tabs will be on the screen, so you feel free to skip ahead through the various sections of the song with the tabs on the screen. But I'm also going to be doing a proper breakdown, note by note. I'm going to talk you through it. So hopefully you're going to get a lot out of this lesson today. So like I said, originally the song was by Bobby Helms. He had a top session player from Nashville on this one, a guy by the name of Hank Garland, I believe. So we're talking very similar territory to sort of Scotty Moore, sort of you Elvis fans if you're into that sort of thing. So very different from the sort of style of guitar playing you normally see me doing, but you know, it's Christmas, let's have fun with it. So let's get on to the intro. So we're in standard tuning. You want a cleanish type of sound, bit of reverb always sounds good for this sort of thing. So without further ado, let's get to the first lick. So we're going to start off this little phrase up here. So we're quite high up on the neck. We're going to be putting our first finger, 14th fret on the high E string. No F sharp there. Second finger, 15th fret right next door to it on the B string. That's a D note there. The two of those together. And we've got to be really careful when you're doing that this second finger is curved and arched up. Otherwise, if that goes flat, very common, it's gonna block your E string, so you don't want that. You want to have nice access to both of those notes, nice and clean. It's gonna be our first little shape there. So again, that's 14 on the E, 15 on the B. We're gonna hit that 3 times. Optional extra, you can slide into this, does give it a bit more atmosphere. And of course, I wouldn't play anything without vibrato, so let's make sure you've got plenty of that on there. Very nice. So after that, we're going to go to the second shape, which is going to be flat finger across both 14s. So again, we're working on the B and the E strings again. 3 hits on those, so we've gone between 14 and 15. Down to 14 and 14, I'm using my first finger flat on those. I'm now going to go back to the first shape, 14 and 15, but just 1 hit this time. So far, that's the initial shape, 14 and 15. Flat finger across 2 14s, 3 of those. And back to shape 1, 14 and 15, just 1 of those. So far. After that, we're going to stretch up with our pinky to 17 on the E string. I use my pinky, to be fair. Any finger that's available will be good, but pinky's cool for me. So I'm going to catch on the E there, and then we're going to jump down. So that first phrase again. Again, lots of vibrato always sounds cool for this sort of stuff. So hopefully you're okay with that. Again, the tabs should be on the screen at this point. So feel free to pause the video and study those tabs if you need to, but I hope that's making sense. After that high 17 there, we're going to jump down the neck a little bit. So we're going to go now to a flat finger at 10. So 10th fret on the E and the B still. And we're going to be working out of this D major shape down here. So we're going to have first finger at the 10s on the E and the B. Same shape again, 2 frets higher at 12. I'm using my third finger for that. So that'd be the 2 10s, so 10 on the E and the B. The 2 12s, E and the B. In context. So it's quite a shift down the fretboard there, but again, bit of practice, hopefully nothing to worry about. After that, 10 and 12, we're going to have a string bend to this lovely part here. So what you were doing here, we've just hit 12, we're going to hit 12s again. We're going to try and bend those strings up a little bit. It's about a quarter or a half step, you know, nothing outrageous, nothing like my normal string bends, just enough to give it a bit of flavour really. So you're going to hit that on the bend, so you can do the 10, the 12, pick it again and do the bends. Now if that's too tricky, what you could do to simplify it a little bit, just go to a single string on the B there and hit just the B. Get your finger just on top of the strings. That's easy to bend one string. Trying to bend two is a little bit awkward. And again, we're mainly trying to bend the B string, but we've got a bit of that E string in there just for a bit of a flavour. So ideally that, if not, yeah, sort of a half step-ish bend there. So after that, we're going to go back to the 2/10s. Then we're going to jump down to the G and the B. Same third finger, barred across both. Again, that's the G and the B strings this time. Then we're going to go down to the 10th fret, same idea, G and the B. Which sounds a little bit weird. So we hammer on to the major third of a D chord here. So that'll be 11th fret on the G. So you're barring the 2/10s, hammering, picking it, and then hammering to 11 with that second finger. Finish that off and it resolves nicely. So that last section, the 2/10s, so 10 barred on the E and the B string. 12, same idea on the E and the B. 12 again with a slight bend. Now I'm bending that up towards my face, otherwise you're going to run out of fretboard, so bear that in mind. After that, back to the 2/10s. Then we jump down to the B and the G, 12th fret. Same at 10, but we're going to hammer very quickly to 11 on the G there. That little section, a bit slower. Hopefully keeping up with that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play that from the top, pull that together for you. So it should sound something a bit like this. So hopefully keeping up with that. The next section to take us into the verse, I'm going to throw in a little slightly palm muted run on the low strings here. To take us into a D chord at the start of the verse. We're going to do that in another section. So after the part at the top, we're going to have open on the A string. Simple enough, no fingers needed obviously. 3rd fret on the low E string. I'm using my second finger for that. And then dropping down to 2nd fret on the low E string again. That's probably my first finger, so that'll be, and to finish off, open E. So we're descending, so A, G, F sharp, down to E, and that'll then take us into a D chord. Sounds cool with a bit of palm muting, I think. You don't have to, but that's what I like to throw on there. Notice how the first notes are quite quick. The A goes straight into that G. And then the rest of the notes are a little bit slower. So all the way from the top, adding that on, you get this. Awesome, so that's the first section, that's the intro of the song, and that's just going to take us into the verse. So hopefully you're able to keep up with that. Again, feel free to rewind the video, follow the tab on the screen, hear me talking through it again if you need to. But yeah, if you're okay with that, let's crack on with the verse. Okay, so let's look at the verse now. Now, there's a lot of chords to get through on this, so we're just going to take it real slowly. I'm going to start you off by showing you all the chords in the verse, then we'll look at the melody. So the plan for today in this lesson is to show you the chords and put a bit of melody in there. So I'll play a little bit of a snippet for you so you can get an idea, but it's going to sound something like this. So there's a little snippet of what we're going to be learning. So we're going to start off with a D chord. So that's just a standard little triangle, way you've always played it, I guess, you know. Again, I'll be putting tabs up on the screen if you need it. Some of these chords you'll know, some of these chords you might not know, so there's something new to learn for some of you, hopefully. So again, first finger, 2nd fret on the G. 1st finger, 2nd fret again, but on the small E string. And 3rd finger in between the two, making a little triangle, 3rd fret on the B string. We're going to hit the open D string with that, the D bass note for a D chord. And there's your D chord. So that's going to be the first chord of the song. Fairly straightforward. After that, we're going to go to a D major 7. Many ways you can play these chords. I've kept them in the most obvious position for what feels comfortable. So the next way to play this chord, a little bit more of a jazzier chord. Some of you might not know this, but forgive me if you do know it. But again, this is basically going to be open D string again. All D chords are going to start with a D bass note. Then you're just going to put the 2nd fret on the G, like you had before, but you're actually going to bar that across all 3 strings now. So that's 2nd fret on the G, the B, and the E string. That gives you this. So there's your D major 7. Okay, so after that, we're going to go to a D6. So, you you might know this, you might not know this. If you are familiar with a D7 chord, so like a symmetrical version of a D chord, it's the same as that without the first finger. But for those of you who don't know it, we're going to start second fret on the G again, but this time with the second finger. Very important this. Open on the B string. That's where the note that the sixth is from the D6. So you've got to be careful not to mute that one. Then you're going to have second fret on the high E string, the small E. With the third finger, so that's 2, 0, 2. Again, tab will be on the screen hopefully. So that's your D6 chord. So far, it's pretty full on. We've got D, standard D chord, D major 7, that's the flat finger across the second fret. D6, keeping that open B string. For all of those three chords, we're rooting on the D bass note. So you've got the open D. So again, D, D major 7, D6. After that, we're going to change to an F sharp minor, big scary bar chord. Now, I'm going to do it in a slightly simplified version. So you're going to go back to that flat finger across the second fret there, which was your D major 7. And we're going to add an F sharp at the bass. That would be the 4th fret on the D string. Ideally, third finger if you can. So that's third finger on the F sharp bass note. First finger on the second fret of the G, barring down. So that gives you this. And that's your first set of 4 chords. So a lot to get through, but hopefully you're keeping up. So D major 7, D6 to F sharp minor. Okay, next batch of 4. Let's cycle through these. So we're going to have D6 again, D sharp diminished. Bit of a scary name. It's not too bad. So if you don't know this chord, this is a cool shape. A little bit jazzy for what I normally like to play, but it's beautiful. So basically you're going to find the D sharp bass note, so that's going to be first fret on the D string, so open will be D. First fret sharpens the note, you get D sharp, so that's our root note for the chord. We're not going to be barring anything this time, we're going to fret each note. And if you're familiar with this, it's like a zigzag shape, but for those of you who aren't, first finger D sharp, you're going to put your second finger first fret on the B string, so you're skipping down a string there. And in between that, third finger's going to go second fret on the G, and pinky second fret again on the small E string. So that gives you 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a tricky one not to mute that one. So again, you'll see that's sort of a zigzag shape across the fretboard there. So that's a D sharp diminished. So that shape, just so for the record, so you know, wherever you do that shape across the D string there will be a diminished shape. So let's say we move it to the 12th fret, this is D. So that's a D diminished. Let's go down 2 frets, so you've got C. C diminished. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent already. So back to D sharp diminished. Now for that crazy chord, we're going to go for 2 nice and simple chords. An E minor. I'm sure you know that one already, but if not, we're talking, well, a few ways you could fret this one, but I always go for this version here. So I've got first finger, actually first finger's not being used, ignore that. Second finger, second fret on the A string, third finger underneath it, second fret on the D string. That's these 2 notes. The rest of the strings are open. So far that was D6, sharp diminished, resolve into E minor. I'm going to go to A7. A regular A chord would be fine if you're not sure, but A7 again, a few ways you could fret this. For me, the most comfortable way, especially coming from E minor, drop that shape down a set of strings, that gives you A sus2, then drop your third finger down to the B string, so you want open, 2, open, 2, open. Again, tabs are on the screen to help you out with this. So that's second finger, second fret on the D string, third finger, second fret again on the B string, everything else open from the A bass note down. So hopefully you're keeping up there. That's D6, D sharp diminished, E minor, A7. So let's start putting a bit of melody in. So we're going to strum that D chord once. Oops. Then we're going to be hitting that B string. And this is where our melody comes from. So a much more simplified version of this song. We're going to be trying to sandwich that into these chords, which works really nicely, so check this out. So some of you advanced players will probably be able to figure that out already, but for those of you who need it, I'm going to strum each chord once, then I'm going to be picking the B string twice. That's your Jingle Bell, so to D major 7. Same trick, we're strumming that 4 strings from the D string down, and catching our B string for your melody. So 2 of those together. Now the D6 gets a little bit fancier. Same kind of idea, but a melody changes. So if you're the eagle-eyed among you, will have seen me sneaking my first finger in here. So D6, going to strum that. I'm going to catch the B string, but we're going to squeeze our first finger onto the 2nd fret, and then back off to open. So our melody we're looking for is, again, that combined within the chord. Really nice to have the chord ringing in the background, I think it sounds cool. Then we're going to go to F sharp. All that from the top, we got this. Okay, hopefully you keep keeping up with that. Again, it tabs up on the screen for that. After that, there's this nice little chop that I hear on the original track. So I've tried to keep that in my version. I think it sounds really cool. So it's quite staccato. We're basically going to be jumping up to a D chord up here. Now, we're just going to play a simplified version. So you're going to put your first finger, it's similar, you'll recognise this from the intro of the song actually, and that's 10th fret on the B and the E string. And then you're going to put your 2nd finger, 11th fret on the G. So that's, again, like I said before, you've got to keep this finger, 2nd finger, curved over like a claw. Otherwise, if that goes flat, you're going to mute your other 2 strings, so be really careful of that. And we're going to hit that twice. I always like to slide out of it, sounds cool. So in context, that would be something like this. And then we segue into the next batch of chords. So that's the first 4 chords. Second 4 chords, we get this. Similar little trick there with this D shape, but down at the 5th fret for A now. So, next line, we're going to start off from D6. It's the same trick as before. So that's strumming all 4 strings over the D6 chord once, adding in that little melody. 2nd fret on the B, off to open on the B. Into that D sharp diminished. Not an easy transition, that one, but you'll get used to it. Just 2 strums on that one. Then to E minor. I'm going to throw in the melody. Again, so you'd strum your E minor. I'm using my pinky to catch that 2nd. Off to open again. And then to an A7. Let's rewind that a little bit. We've got D6 with the melody. 2 strums of D sharp diminished. Bit of a mouthful. E minor with the same melody. Providing that with the pinky there. Bit tricky, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Then A7. In context. I'm going to add those same 2 stabs we had up here in D, but now in A. So you take that shape down to the 5th fret. So this is basic notes out of an A major shape here. So 5th fret barred across the E and B strings, and 6th fret 2nd finger on the G there. Sort of fashion. 2 nice quick stabs. You know, I'm going to slide out of that again into the next set. So those 2 lines together, I'll give you this hopefully. Awesome, so hopefully keeping up with that. So let's go on to the next section now. So the next set of chords, we're going to be a little bit simplified now. We're going to go E minor, A7, same again, E minor, A7. Back to your A chord up here, so that's E minor, A7, E minor, A7. Then the second line underneath that, E minor with the B in the bass, then to an A. There's a little bass line. So, I'll put the tab up on the screen now, so hopefully this is a bit easier to follow. We're going to go E minor, like to give it this kind of bass chord rhythm. Sounds really cool for this era of a song, I think. Always works well. So E minor bass notes, that's open E string. And then staccato, I'm just going to strike the rest of the chord. Same trick on A7, A bass note. A, and repeat that twice. So. Second line, we're going to have E minor. E minor again with a B in the bass. So basically you're playing the same chord, but starting on the A string, which is the B note here. Then A. The same bass we had at the start of the song, so that's A chord. Do 2 hits there. Walking down G, F sharp, E again. So that's 3rd fret on the low E, F sharp, 2nd fret, and open E. So that's 2 strokes of the A chord. I've noticed I'm doing the lazy, the rock A, the flat finger. I'm not going for the full 3 fingers. I'm aware of it, but 9 times out of 10 I'll go for this one. So flat finger A chord, 2 hits of that, then walk down that bass line again. So again, just to go through that, we had the E minor to A7 twice, then E minor with a B in the bass, A with the bass line down again. Again, tabs will be all over the screen hopefully, if I get my editing skills up to scratch. So that section should be like this. Hopefully that was making sense. The second time round, it's virtually the same. However, people in this era did like to make songs pretty awkward. So that very last line where we've just done E minor with a B in the bass to A with the bass line, we're going to now change to E minor, A7, to D. Different bass line. So I'll grab the tab up, that's going to look something like this. Same sort of feel, bass note chord, bass note chord. Strike that D chord twice at the end. And the bass line walking down, C sharp, B and A. So C sharp, that will be 4th fret on the A string. B, 2nd fret on the A string. And open A. So remember 2 strikes of the D chord. Okay, not to be confused with the previous one. Okay, so I'm now going to play the full thing, which is 2 rotations, ending 1 at the start, ending 2 at the end, obviously, which will take us into the chorus. So, tab on the screen, let's go for it. Okay, we're about to go into a G chord, and that'll be our chorus. Alright then, chorus time. So, you'll be pleased to know the chorus has got far fewer chords, thank goodness. I'm going to start off with a good old traditional G chord. Many ways you can play this. I go for a 3-finger version of G. Learned this from a lot of AC/DC songs, so rather than doing all 4 like this, I would generally keep my bass note down, 3rd fret on the low E string there with my 2nd finger. The back of that, I'm just going to block my A string, and then I've got the 2 fingers at the 3rd fret on the E and the B strings. Whichever way you prefer to play G is the right way really, let's be honest. So, one chord you know about G, one chord maybe you don't know about. G sharp diminished, lovely chord. Again, another jazzier chord. We had one of these earlier in the song. This time it's rooted off the E string, so it's a different shape to learn. So what you're looking for is your bass note G sharp. So that's obviously 4th fret on the low E string there. We're then going to match that on the G. So we're going to have 2nd finger, 4th, no I can't count, ignore. 3rd finger, 4th fret on the G there. And then your 1st finger is going to provide the rest of the notes. So your 1st finger is going to be hitting 3rd fret on the D string. We're then going to be barring across a couple of strings, going down the fretboard to catch the B string at the 3rd fret. So we should have 4th fret G sharp bass note, 3 on the D string, provided with the 1st finger, 4 on the G, that's from the 3rd finger, and then 3rd fret again on the B string. That's hopefully provided by the 1st finger, so you can take a bit of practice that's not muted, so it should sound like this. There we go, so again, this will be tabbed out. So tabs are on the screen if that makes your life easier. It's always nice to see which fingers are being used, I think, for these shapes. And again, that's a grip, so wherever you can play that and root that, you've got the diminished shape on the E string root note there. So in context, G chord, move up a fret, then get your diminished shape like your scale chord, back to old favourites, D chord, good old classic D. So a lot of the time I'll play this as a D5, a D power chord. Sort of a lot of how AC/DC songs are played off often. I'm not actually bothering to hit my E string there. If you want to do that, adds a bit more brightness to the sound, completely fine. Habits, I normally will play a D5 there, but up to you. So I'm going to hit that once, and the bass line you might recognise from earlier. 4th fret on the A, 2nd fret on the A, and open on the A. So that's C sharp, B, and A. After that, we're going to return to the D chord, this time twice. Same bass line, so that'd be 1 D chord, bass line, 2 D chords, bass line. So, okay, so from the top, that was G. G sharp diminished. D with a bass line, 2 Ds and a bass line. Okay, so what we're going to do now is add a bit of rhythm to that. Similar to before, we're going to do lots of the bass, chord sort of stuff. I think that sounds cool, but again, you can make it your own if you want to do a more of a generic strum. Again, the most important thing is understanding where the chords are going and how to play them accurately. The strumming, you can make it your own, have fun with it. So after that, we're going to go to E. Good old classic E chord, nothing we need to say about that, but if you don't know it, we're talking 1st finger, 1st fret on the G, 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the A, 3rd finger tucks underneath it, 2nd fret on the D string, all 6 strings. We're then going to go to an E7 chord. Really bluesy that one. Now, there's a few different ways you can do this. The easiest way is just to add your pinky 3rd fret on the B string into that chord. So from normal E to E7 like this. What I'll also do, I'll then actually lift off my 3rd finger to expose the open D string. Very nice. Bit of a fuller sound. And that's how I play my E7. So this is going to be E. Open A chord there, so E, E7, A. Now again, if that E7 is a bit awkward or you're not a fan of it, you can stay on the E for the same duration basically, and that's fine. I'm going to add it because I like the slight variation, but yeah. So E, E7, I'm going to do a little bend and up to A. This will be on the tab. So to get that at the end, I'm hitting open E, 3rd fret bending up, about a semitone, so, and that then brings us into A, and that's a very signature rock move. You've heard it in loads of songs. It's a great sound. I always think of Jimmy Page actually. Anyway, we don't need a Zeppelin tangent today. So, that was E, E7, open to 3, little bend on the E string, back up to A. After that, we're going to cut the note. Bit of a pause, I'll throw in a bit of percussion to keep me in time. And then the same bass line we had at the start of the song. So, let me play that with the tab on the screen so you can hopefully follow along. So this is the full chorus now. So. Which takes us back into a D chord, into verse 2. Okay, so I hope you've managed to keep up with that. So you've now got intro Timestamps will be below in the description if you need it. Intro, verse, and chorus. Now there is going to be a second verse, another chorus, and to be honest, after that, I can't remember. It's only quite a short song. But that's the main few parts you need, okay? So, intro, verse, and chorus. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play it right from the top all the way through. And hopefully you're able to follow along with this. So, here goes. So hopefully you're able to keep up with that. Again, the tabs will be on the screen, so hopefully between me explaining it and the tabs, you're able to get a good enough understanding of the song there. So you've got just enough time to practice this before the big day, and you can show your family and friends and impress them, hopefully. So again, let me know what you thought of this. It's very different from what I'd normally do on this channel, obviously. Most of it's normally the classic rock and 80s rock, but you know, it's the best time of year to do a Christmas song, so I thought I'd throw one in. If there's any other Christmas songs you'd like me to do in this sort of style, let me know and I'll maybe get over it, get round to it over the Christmas period, we'll see. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a link in the description actually and in the comments section of all my other Christmas videos. So I did Darkness, Christmas Time, I've done, there's a Bon Jovi one I've done as well. But again, check the link in the description and that'll be back to my normal sort of style of video. So I've just got the tabs of me playing on the screen. So none of the chit chat and tangents. But again, hopefully you got something out of this. Please let me know what you thought of it, and if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video, be it a Christmas one, or maybe not a Christmas one. We'll see how this one goes down, I guess. But yeah, have a good one, hope you have a great Christmas, and I'll catch you in the new year if I don't see you before.